Yes, I hope everyone is doing well and having a wonderful day. So this video, we are going deep into Michael Lawrence and how he achieved this incredible life-changing fat loss transformation. But there's much more to Michael's journey than just what you see here. It goes a lot deeper, and in this video, we're going to uncover everything. So let's start by going into a bit more about Michael. So Michael lives in San Diego. He is from New Mexico. He is one of the OGs in the team. He's been on the team now, like 2.5 years. And he's just an incredible human being. He's one of the nicest, kindest people I've ever met. And we just got along instantly from our first call back in May 2023. He's just an absolute pleasure to know and be around. There's a picture of us after we completed our half marathon together in San Diego, and there's a picture of him fishing, enjoying his life. Yeah, he's an absolute legend, and what we're going to do, like I said previously, is just kind of pull back the layers and get to know Michael where he was, and basically take you through his whole transformation and where he is today. So, where was he before? Following the pandemic, like many people kind of put their health as not really as a priority, but Michael hit a serious low. He felt lost and directionless, struggling to regain control over his health, fitness, and mindset. Despite having an above average prior nutrition and fitness knowledge, he didn't know what to do, when to do it, or how to get started. So before the pandemic, Michael had ran many events, half marathons. I think he did half marathons, and he was regular in the gym. But I feel like in the pandemic, some people went kind of training and got really healthy in the best shape, and the other side of the coin, people tend to kind of with the pandemic itself, kind of overate, didn't exercise, so on and so forth. Well, one thing that Michael did do, he worked throughout the pandemic. So he was in that routine, eating for convenience, and lo and behold, his kind of physique, his mindset, and health just started to deteriorate, leaving him into this before picture there. The daily grind became overwhelming. Motivation was gone. His energy was drained, and even simple tasks felt like massive hurdles. He knew he wasn't performing at his best, but he didn't know how to break the cycle. A lot of the time, people know what to do, but they don't know the first step to take. They don't know how to put their best foot forward, in what direction. So that's definitely something that we focused on first. So his nutrition, before working with us, Michael's habits weren't healthy, okay, at all. His nutrition was inconsistent, unplanned, and often driven by convenience rather than quality. So as I mentioned before, he was working throughout the whole pandemic. So instead of, for example, cooking his meals, it would be DoorDash, Uber Eats, or just food deliveries and quick on the go, like kind of snacking at his desk, and all those habits that aren't pushing him to where he deserved to be and where he wanted to be. Like I said, despite his prior fitness knowledge, his food choices weren't fueling his body properly, leaving him feeling drained and unable to sustain energy throughout his long work days. As a result, his health took a hit. He wasn't training at all, which left him feeling stuck and frustrated. Without exercise, he couldn't break the physical and mental plateaus that were holding him back. His routine and habits didn't align with the demands of his life, mentally and physically, and it wasn't built to support key areas like strength, endurance, or mental resilience. This gap kept him from unlocking his full potential. As Michael was working through kind of lockdown, his job was at his desk a lot of the time. So again, we didn't go from zero to hero, which I'll go into more detail with on the next slide. We just made sure everything was kind of part of easy to follow, easy to implement, and easy to compound on those healthy habits. So as we go into the setup, the first thing we did was establish healthy habits to reduce the overwhelming stress Michael was feeling. His routine was disjointed with no structure for nutrition or fitness. We didn't, like it says there, we didn't make any drastic changes. We slowly built new habits to avoid burnout, making steady progress at a pace that worked for him. Because I remember on our first call, Michael mentioned that he has, for example, I think it was like 6 full fat Cokes. So instead of being like, right, we're not having any fizzy drinks or any full fat drinks, I was like, right, we're going to start by having 3 full fat and then 3 Coke Zero. Just small little changes like that he could implement. And then once we got to 3 and 3, like full fat and Coke Zeros. We slowly brought that all the way down to having like 1 to 2 Coke Zeros a day, whatever it was. We just made sure what he was doing, we weren't changing it completely and turning it on its head, because he wasn't going to follow it, he wasn't going to enjoy it, and he wasn't going to be able to stick to it. Simple as that. We did introduce calorie tracking through MyFitnessPal with personalized calorie and macro targets, adding accountability and helping him gain a deeper understanding of nutrition's role in his energy and performance. So again, what we did was incorporate freedom within his nutritional approach, but also that rigidness to give him that structure and to push the results that he wanted to see and wanted to feel. Michael's training was focused on 3 full body workouts per week, aiming at boosting his confidence in the gym and unlocking the mental benefits of resistance training. It was about developing both physical and mental resilience and starting to begin building more lean muscle tissue and change body composition. And one thing we also implemented, and I'm sure I'll talk about it more later on in this video, but when we first started, Michael could barely get through 10 minutes on an incline walk without getting kind of shin splints or discomfort. And then fast forward literally 6 months from then, we did an internal team challenge where we had to run 3K a day for the first like kind of leading up to Christmas. And Michael executed that. So what we did was slowly build. So we went from 5 minutes, 10 to 10 minutes, and slowly increased either the speed or incline, and just building up that stimulus where he could continue to push, but in a way that was right for him, that he could implement and enjoy and see the results of doing so. Oh yeah, worth adding, with the 3 full body workouts, we, with our like the rep ranges and stuff, we didn't do any heavy lifting. We established a foundation, so we built endurance and kind of, again, that stimulus and the stress in the muscles and the body to then go and push a lower rep range and heavier loads. But to begin with, all of his rep ranges were around between like 10 and 15. Nothing too strenuous, but obviously starting from literally square one, like rock bottom, we had to go slow and we had to go like make sure it was smooth and make sure every step was being executed perfectly. The progress assessment and check-ins for Michael were absolutely vital, as they are for everyone, but Michael's starting point was a lot different from a lot of people. So we used our app to track everything that gave us real-time insights into how he's performing, recovering, and adjusting, as we worked on rebuilding his habits and creating a new normal, because we had to completely rewire Michael's mindset and his habits to start pushing him on a different track, and the track that he deserves to be on. With Michael as well, from day one, he's been so engrossed, and he still is, into the process, and he trusts me 100%. So even though we do a full like in-depth check-in every single week, what Michael does is give me updates throughout the week. So when we get to that weekly check-in, we can go a lot deeper, and everything that he says to me in the week, we can hit that immediately and learn and develop that. And then at the week, it's kind of a bigger overview, and we can get into the nitty-gritty a little bit more. And this has allowed Michael to literally develop his knowledge and mindset and education around everything that he does, which has led into, well, that's a picture of me and him finishing the half marathon. And just running with Michael. And it was emotional for me because obviously we did the training together, and then we did the event together. But honestly, like and he will back me up on this, the last mile and a half, he got severe cramps, but he said to me many times before the event, he was like, I want to get round without walking. And he did that. This man is he's just an absolute legend, and he deserves every single bit of progress that he's achieved. The data from the check-ins did help us give a really specific review, because there's been a lot of times when people want to lose a substantial amount of weight, which I'll go into the figures in a second, and patience is the key. But when you want to lose such a substantial amount of weight, it's really, really hard to be patient. So this is where the education is, like, not every week Michael saw a loss on the scales, or not every week Michael felt great. But we knew that the plan is working and we're heading in the right direction. And if there was any questions, queries, or worries that Michael had, he would voice it straight away instead of getting in his own head or creating even more overwhelming stress, because part of my job is to take all of that out the equation, give the framework, give the structure, give the blueprint for Michael and the team so they can execute and start to see the results they deserve to see. With Michael's demanding schedule, this ongoing feedback was absolutely key. It allowed us to fine-tune his training and nutrition, keeping him on track without pushing him too hard. So Michael lost a substantial amount of weight, but what I told him from day one is to forget that dream number. For example, if someone comes to me and they say they want to lose 30 pounds, I'll be like, right, okay, we're not going to lose 30 pounds once. We're going to lose 1 pound 30 times. Instantly, that breaks it down and being like small, easy, more manageable chunks to execute, follow, tick off, and just continue to build momentum. From day one, Michael has built a scary amount of momentum, and in his personal life, he's gone through a lot, which I am not going to go into detail with, but we become very, very close friends, and that's allowed us to really work together to get the best from Michael, but also have that understanding of when to push him and when to pull back, which is the key. It also gave us the chance to strengthen his mindset, helping him better understand everything being asked of him so he could perform at his best without feeling overwhelmed. And this was the key, especially when going through half marathon prep, and we're actually going into a full marathon prep now as well. And we've also got the same half marathon in October in San Diego later this year. And there's a lot of times where he's come back after a run and the run didn't feel good or something like that, and we just be like, right, sweet, why? Let's talk about nutrition a few days before. How was sleep? How was hydration? So it's just asking Michael to reflect and give a different perspective on why that run didn't go so well, or whatever the case is. But it's just allowing Michael to pull back the layers and think a little bit deeper into the reasons why and where we can kind of tweak, manage, improve to make sure that either those situations, runs, negative kind of thought patterns, they will happen, but we just know when they do happen, okay, we've been here before, we know exactly how to deal with it and how to overcome it. But yeah, insane. After, I mean, it speaks for itself really, doesn't it? It's unbelievable and completely life-changing. Like I said there, I've even spelt achieved wrong, but we'll get over it. He has achieved and is still achieving life-changing results. So I've touched upon briefly about how Michael got pain when he was walking on an incline treadmill for a walk, for a warm-up for his sessions, to now running multiple miles each week in prep for, his previous half marathon. He's done 10Ks and his marathon prep at the minute. What he's doing now is what he's done, what he's built himself, is found this love for running. From someone that couldn't walk for 5-10 minutes on an incline without getting pain, to now absolutely loving running is exceptional. It's absolutely amazing to see and witness. And what he does now, which I absolutely love, he sends me the stats of every single run. And what we're realizing now is, over the past few months, is the pace that we did the half marathon, all of his training runs for the half marathon, he's literally 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. He's taken 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes off those runs with his recovery runs in marathon prep this time. So his fitness is through the roof, and he's just so engrossed and ingrained into becoming the best version of himself, which is inspirational. And like it says there, this man never settled for anything less than his best. He gave everything he could on every occasion he could. Yes, there were days where there was snacking involved and everything, and it was always the case, and be like, right, how did that make you feel? And it provides a moment of reflection instead of me turning around and being like, why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? You'd be like, right, sweet, how did that make you feel? Is that going to help with training? Is that going to help with sleep? No, sweet. So next time we get to that situation, let's focus on doing this instead of this. Those little moments really help Michael just reflect, learn, and implement. He gained the most confidence he's ever had, and an undeniable wealth of knowledge surrounding recovery, nutrition, mindset, and training. I think with the recovery side, even more so going through the half prep and now the full marathon prep, knowing that recovery is just as important as the runs, as important as the gym sessions, as important as nutrition, even though nutrition does fit in with recovery. Michael's nutrition now is the best we've ever seen it. Michael's physique now is the best we've ever seen it. Michael's fitness now is the best we've ever seen it. And we didn't jump the gun. We didn't try and achieve too much too soon. We said on the very, very first call that this isn't going to be kind of a quick fix, and we don't want it to, because in my opinion, any quick fixes don't last. You'll lose any results just as quick as you gain them. So we made sure that we create a new normal, and by creating this new normal, Michael's standards that he holds himself to are leagues above from where he started. I don't think Michael recognizes that guy on the left-hand side. I genuinely don't. And I know full well, because me and Michael are really, really close, that he will never go back to the way he was. 100%. Michael's lost 31.72 kg, which is just under 70 pounds of fat in 8 months. So when he first started, obviously the main goal was to drop body fat, improve lean muscle tissue, improve health, improve all the key markers that we wanted to improve. But during that time, this is where he found the love for running, but even more so after he lost this weight. Now he is maintaining this weight, but pushing performance and improving his physique like no tomorrow. And like I've mentioned many, many times, he's now an avid runner taking on multiple events. And again, I'm going to say it again, going from not being able to walk from like 5-10 minutes on a 3 to 4% incline without witnessing or experiencing any pain, to now doing a half marathon with myself and doing a full marathon and another half marathon late this year with myself. And I know full well that we're going to go and absolutely smash our previous time because of all the training, the dedication, and the commitment this man has shown. It's been a complete life change, and that's not any over exaggeration. Physically, visually, and mentally. I am unbelievably proud of this man. He knows it. I tell him every single week, and it's an honor to be able to ride shotgun with him on his journey and just help him become the best version of himself. Well, that is it, okay? That is it. But if you do want any more in-depth knowledge about Michael's training, how we got him from square one to literally optimizing his health, fitness, and unlocking high performance, then please just DM me on Instagram. It's TomWatts_HighPerfHub, so short for High Performance Hub. Keep an eye out for these videos. There's going to be more of these on different client journeys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.